Hello, hi, I'm Gemma Griffiths, and today I am sitting down with my good friend Munya Chanetsa. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe on YouTube so you never miss an episode of Hello Hi with Gemma. Big love. Right back to today's guest, I am beyond excited to welcome Munya Chanetsa, a true visionary in Africa's music and entertainment industry. As MD of Empire Publishing Africa and founder of Moti, Masters of the Industry, Munya champions African talent on the global stage, empowers creatives, and celebrates unsung heroes behind the music. Munya, hello, hi.
Hello, hi.
Welcome.
How are you
welcome.
doing, Gemma?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Oh,
Thank
it's
you for
so
having
good to
me.
have you. We are going to dive right in.
Exciting.
Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Take me back to your beginnings in Zimbabwe. What was your childhood like and what sparked your love for music?
So, I guess this question is like, what sparks anyone's love for music? I think if you just got it, you got it, you know?
Yeah.
As a child, I grew up in a household, I guess my parents used to they listened to a lot of that, like, the old school R&B, Motown type sound. So that was always the basis. And I mean, as a
Amazing.
child, the first song I think I ever really truly, and I'm not including the Sesame Street songs when I was a kid, but when I was like, I remember being like 7 or 8,
Yeah.
and Sexual Healing was the first song that I
Oh,
remember.
Marvin
There was something about
Gaye.
the chord progression that
Oh my
always got me.
gosh.
I even have
Yeah.
a playlist where any song that samples it, now my ears are like tuned to any song
Yeah.
that samples Sexual Healing. I'm always like, yo, I
You're
got you.
into
I
it.
got you. So that was like, in terms of international music, that's what we were into as a family. I think growing old in my teen years now, going to school at St. John's College, one of my best friends who lived in the same road as me, his parents, they were the Reba family. And
Yeah.
they used to own a production company called MFD.
Yeah.
So they did a whole lot of movies. Neria,
Oh, amazing.
Yellow Card, what else? There was one Jit as well. And they actually were the ones who actually put together the Shanda Oliver Mtukudzi documentary
Oh, wow.
as well. They lived down the road, so
Yeah.
I was there all the time because we used to play Nintendo 64. But they always had just music from the continent playing, and
Amazing.
that's when I used to listen to Angelique Kidjo. There was Baba Mal, Salif Keita, all of us obviously playing all the time, and like this kind of, I guess, would I say appetite or just an attraction to that sound and
Yeah.
having just music from the continent, you know,
100%.
they kind of opened it up for me, and I guess I never looked back from there, actually. And that
Yeah.
was it. I mean, yeah.
Amazing. And I think you're so right. Like there's this like if you've got it, you've got it.
Yeah.
If you're hooked on music, you're hooked on music,
It's
you know.
done.
And I was actually with a gospel artist from Zim the other day, and she
Mhm.
said to me, because she's got 3 kids, and she was like, I told my kids, if you don't know that you want to be a musician by the time you're 12, you don't want to be a musician. She
Facts.
was like, if you're not hooked on this when you're a kid, like it's not,
No,
you
don't
know what I mean?
force.
Yeah, don't force it.
Absolutely.
And I
Absolutely.
think I was very similar. Like I was hooked. I think I did my first solo at like 6 years old.
So
I was
me.
just obsessed with the idea of being a singer.
When you got it, you just got it.
When you're obsessed, you're obsessed.
That's it.
Now, as a Zimbabwean based in South Africa,
Uh-huh.
how have your roots and experiences in both countries influenced the way you approach developing and supporting artists across the continent?
So I would say in Zim was sincerely where I think I grew a love for music.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day there was Haifa.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember I started off there as a volunteer, packing up chairs.
No way.
And eventually I got to the point where I was like assistant stage manager,
Wow.
which was really dope. So
Yeah.
I mean, it just, and I loved Haifa. I loved any live music. I would always want to be there. I think it was 5 Avenue as well. There was a book club. What's it called? Book club?
Book cafe.
Book cafe.
Mhm.
There was those kind of things. I was always there. So that's where the love came from. But South Africa is where I would say it exposed me to the structure and the business side of music.
Yeah.
In terms of how do I use that to support artists, I guess it's a combination of combining the purpose, which is the heart, which I would have got from Zim, combined with the professionalism and the business side, which I would
Yeah.
have got from South Africa. So
Amazing.
it's like I'm a preacher whenever I'm meetings, I'm always preaching, trying to help people do the right thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's where I guess it's that combination of the two.
Incredible. And I think you've done it, like, you can really show, you can see the two in the mix of like somebody who knows you, you know.
Yeah.
You're a perfect mix of the two. The perfect
Thank
combination.
you.
You are the MD of Empire Africa,
Yes.
one of the most dynamic music companies on the continent and beyond. For our listeners who might not know, how would you explain the role of a music publishing and distribution company in shaping an artist's career?
Okay, so and this is where I think a lot of, I guess, it's not just South Africa, it's continentally.
Yeah.
We don't quite understand the whole ecosystem of the
Mhm.
industry. We don't understand the different revenue streams, what you should be collecting, whether you are a performing artist, a producer, or a songwriter. It's very blurry. And so just to give clarity, so my mandate as a publisher is to sign the best, the hottest songwriters and producers on the
Amazing.
continent.
Mm.
And we provide, I'd say, 5 services to them.
Yeah.
The first service is to protect their copyright and intellectual property.
Mm-hmm.
So any work that you've lent your songwriting skills or production, my job is to make sure that no one utilizes that without compensating you or without your permission. The second thing is to ensure that you get your royalties.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of songwriters and producers don't know that you're meant to be getting royalties. They think that you just get like a once-off fee for coming into the studio and then it's done. But the reality is, if you've contributed in any way to the composition or to making a song, you should be getting royalties.
Yeah.
So our job is to make sure that your works are always registered with the collection management organizations, and then our job is to then make sure we collect your royalties, and then you get your money,
Yeah.
which is due to you anyway. The third thing is we look for what we call synchronization deals or sync deals.
Mm-hmm.
So that is where we place music in films, in TV shows, in adverts, in computer games. And yeah, I mean, that's probably where the most lucrative part of publishing is. If you lock in those type of deals, it's usually a nice sum of money you get up
Which we
front.
love.
Oh, absolutely. And this is, as I said, this is really for only for songwriters and producers.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're an artist that writes your own stuff and produce, then you're in the mix as well. So sync deals is the third thing. The fourth thing is to keep you busy as a songwriter producer.
Yeah.
Look for opportunities for you to write for other artists, to produce for other artists. So looking for camps and those type of things. And five is clearances.
Ah,
So
okay.
now in the event now, we flip it around where if you have been inspired by the melody someone did or a beat someone made or lyrics and you want to use them in your own works, our job would also to be assist you in clearing it correctly so that
Incredible.
the actual rights holder doesn't come after you at any point because you've infringed their copyright.
Yeah.
So that would be the role of the publisher. Distributors now work with distribution.
Mhm.
We make your music available. In this day and age, that is mainly the DSPs, the digital service providers like Apple or Spotify. Yeah, that's what a distributor's job is. So different distributors offer different services. So I know at Empire there are two types of deals we offer. There's just a straight distro deal where our job is to take your music and make it available. And if you give us, if you give us enough lead time, which is usually 4 weeks, we can pitch and get it on playlisting, maybe
Yeah.
even get some marketing, nothing hectic. And then we do what we call Distro Plus,
Mhm.
which is where it's basically Distro plus other services. Because Empire is not a traditional record label. Empire is not even a record label at all. It's a distribution company that offers record label services.
Mhm.
So yeah, when it comes to the Distro Plus, it's now the onus is on you being the artist, the label, to know what it is that you need that Empire can assist you with. You pitch to Empire and be like, yo, this is what I need. And then if everything aligns, then we can sign and we can explore working. So
Incredible.
that would be the differences. Yeah.
Thank you so much for clarifying, because I think it's something that I find a lot of Zimbabwean creatives really don't know enough about. You know, if you were a young or even established Zimbabwean producer, songwriter, creative artist,
Mhm.
and you wanted to educate yourself more on publishing, where would you recommend people start?
In terms of being educated on publishing, I would say my Moti website.
There we go.
www.motiafrica.com.
Yes.
That's the first place where, that's my online skill sharing platform that I created back in 2020. Well, I launched it in 2022, but the brainchild started in 2018. That's a good place to start,
Yeah.
just to kind of give you a good idea of what it is. Because on the website, I do cover most areas,
Yeah.
as well as there's in-depth interviews with different executives, which are online and available. And yeah, just to give you an idea of what it is that you need to do if you wanted to get into publishing.
And can you share what inspired you to create Moti? How do you see it changing the conversation about celebrating and educating people behind music?
So Moti it's two-sided, where definitely it was created out of love for the
Yeah.
creatives, but also massive frustration, like
Yeah.
just because of how much creators are losing.
Yeah.
Like literally, when I say, I genuinely think millions of dollars are being lost just purely because people aren't doing basic business principles, because we're not viewing the entertainment or the music industry as a business.
Mhm.
We just focus on the creative, and we have that on lock. We've shown the world that we are creative and we've got all the attention. However, now when it comes to the business side, we just keep losing money. So, and I think it was in 2018 when I just started working at a company called Capasso,
Mhm.
the Composers, Authors, and Publishers Association of South Africa. And that was baptism by fire, because I thought at that point, and I'd already been in the industry for close to 10 years at that point,
Yeah.
I thought I understood the industry until I worked at Capasso. And then it's like this whole world of intellectual property and copyright within music was opened up. And that's not, at that point I was like, man, if I don't even know this, so what chance would, I don't know, Rumbidzai and Sim or Tawanda or Tanaka, whoever, what chance do they even have?
Yeah.
If, like, I've been in the game this long and I had no idea. So then I guess it took a few years for me to put it together, but in 2022 we officially launched.
Amazing.
And yeah, that was it. It was just like, ultimately my goal is to try and groom more business-minded people on the continent to work alongside our creatives, because we put a lot of just put a lot on the creative. The
Mm.
creative has to, now you're meant to create firstly. That's your main job. But on the side, then you're expected to look at contracts and understand what you're signing. You're doing radio interviews. There's just so much that is
Yeah.
impossible. So, and I think this is where Nigeria really got it right, in the sense where when I used to travel to Nigeria quite a lot, it's like, I remember the managers there, you'd find out that these guys are educated, like
Yeah.
not just but there'll be lawyers who've decided to now go into the music and the like. So you can see that they were well educated, and hence why you see Nigerian acts being global megastars.
100%.
That's like, so in my mind, I was like, Moti is a platform which is for free, it's free information. And as I said, the purpose of it was just to build business-minded people to protect, actually, and work alongside our creators.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think it's such an important website. Guys, please actually check out Moti. Whether you're an artist, whether you're a creative, whether you're a manager, whether your friend has asked you to manage them, like there's so much information that I find, especially in the Zim scene, just because that's what I'm locked into. I'll speak to big artists who, they've asked their friend or somebody's offered to help them upload the music. And I'm like, oh, did you give them your bank details? Like, they don't know where the money's going. Like, all these things, people are losing money they don't even realize. Even things as simple as like lead time for uploading a song.
People think, let me upload
Everyone's
now.
like, we're dropping it now. And it's like, dude, like, you need to give this some time. I heard this saying the other day and I was like, you don't know what you don't know.
Facts.
Like, you genuinely
Facts.
don't know what you don't know.
Absolutely.
So please check out Moti. I'm going to put all the links because it's important. And I think it's also important for people to know that there are these platforms that are literally designed and geared towards African creatives to learn about this stuff.
Yes and yes.
And as a biased Zimbabwean, we need to take over the music industry. So we need everybody we need to know. We need to know. Based on your experience, what is one truth about the music business that artists and young executives really hear but absolutely need to?
That talent is not enough anymore.
Yeah.
Just being talented, it may get you into the room, but if you don't understand the business, then you'll be destined to having those situations where other people are always making more than you from your own talent type thing. So it's understanding that, as I said, it's like, this is a business. There's no taking away from it.
Yeah.
So as you rightly said, if even if it is your friend who you've grown, who you knew down the street, and you're not asking them to be a manager, being a manager isn't just driving you to gigs, drinking with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, there's so much that goes with it, and there's a lot of responsibility. So, yeah, talent isn't enough. you have to be clued up. You have to understand the business of music.
100%.
Yeah.
And it is that, like, it's a two-part game. It's the music
Mhm.
business. There's
Yeah.
the creative and there is the other half,
Absolutely.
which I think is so, and I think to understand that as well takes away a lot of that danger of artists being taken advantage of without
True.
even realizing it, you
True.
know, or things falling into the abyss or into like just because there were a few things strategy wise that could have happened that could have
Absolutely.
completely changed the release.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
oh my gosh,
Gotta learn more, people.
we gotta learn. We gotta
We
learn.
has to.
Speaking to anyone listening who wants to build a career in publishing,
Okay.
what would you say are the key skills or steps that they should focus on to really make an impact in this space?
Number one is patience.
Yes.
Publishing is very administrative.
Mhm.
It's not the sexiest part of the industry. Although, I mean, we have a lot of fun as publishers because we go out and we do
There we
stuff.
go.
Absolutely. No, we're in studio sometimes, but it really is, when it comes to the work, the 9 to 5 kind of part of it, it is admin heavy.
Okay.
So patience is very important. I think understanding how to read contracts is very important. Um, Getting a very good understanding of split sheets and the functional split sheets, very key. Relationships with your collection management organization. So in Zim, that would be Zimura.
Mhm.
In South Africa, you're talking about Samra and Capasso. Understanding their role and function, as well as having relationships with these people, because you have to make sure your songwriters and producers are registered with these societies in order to collect their royalties. And yeah, I'll say those are the key things, because yeah, we're in the people business. And
Yeah.
if you also have to be able to manage people as well,
Yeah,
manage the
100%.
creatives, because you're asking someone to trust you with their intellectual property. So, it's very important to have that ability to be able to, engage with people, treat people like humans.
Yeah.
And and then at the end of the day, work with integrity and get the job done.
100%.
Those are key.
And I think also, like, we are in the people business, and sometimes people
Big time.
don't realize that. Like,
Yeah.
even something as simple as playlisting, like somebody's sitting there,
Literally,
you know,
there's a human
this
being.
is all humans.
Yeah.
These are humans.
Relationships.
And relationship is key in this industry, I think,
Big
as
time.
well. Collaboration is such a big part of what's of Africa's music scene right now.
Yes.
From your perspective, what makes partnerships between artists, labels, and executives truly successful, and what makes them fall apart?
The success lies in clarity of everyone's expectation, I think, and also no egos, but clarity of everyone's expectations, where before you even get to start making the music, everyone is kind of clear on what's expected of them.
Yeah.
And that's not just in studio in terms of creating the music, it's also post-release now in terms of supporting. What are the expectations? Who should be doing what? And also, especially when it comes to paperwork, how is the money flowing? Who owns what in the song? Who owns the publishing? What percentage? Who owns the masters? What percentage of them? Those kind of things, like having a short conversation. And this is where I'd say this is important for the Motis in the room, because
Motis.
everyone should have a Moti now.
Yeah.
The Motis in the room, the business-minded person who's working alongside you, this is when they should have a short conversation just before anything happens, just to have that kind of thing, to know who's doing what are the expectations, we sign off on it, and let's go.
Yeah.
I think what kind of makes things fall apart for me is, lack of understanding of who's doing what, and egos.
Yeah.
Like, there's no time for egos. Like, guys, let's just work.
Let's just do our thing, man.
Let's just do your thing.
Yeah.
When it's egos, and now someone, maybe you've paid up front because a big act, and then now the act isn't doing stuff. It's like, it's the worst.
Yeah.
So if we can just put egos aside and just treat it like business before we start working, I think that's what leads to successful collabs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Put the
Yes.
ego aside.
Put it aside.
Technology and streaming have completely changed how artists connect with audiences. From where you sit, how are these shifts reshaping opportunities for Zimbabwean and African artists? Where do you see the next big wave of growth coming from?
Streaming has provided accessibility, which is amazing. It's something which was never there before.
Yeah.
And so accessibility in the sense, as someone from Harare could upload a song, and you never know, discoverability has increased by heaps and bounds, where you never know, someone in New York could just stumble across your music because it's in a playlist,
Yeah.
or UK, or wherever you are in the world, Lagos, Beijing. It could anyway. So that's the one thing for streaming which I appreciate. the other thing is that, unfortunately, and this is me being real, locally, I don't think streaming really works for the African creative that much.
Yeah.
Like, and when I say that, I'm talking about financially.
Yeah.
You get the reach, but there's no reward. And this is mainly because of things like your streaming rates on the continent are just, they're terrible. They're really low.
Yeah.
So if you're expecting to make a living off just streaming, that will never happen.
A massive shout out to our sponsor for this episode, Click Send Now, for quick, instant, and affordable money transfers to Zimbabwe. Big love.
In my mind, I appreciate streaming and technology, but on the continent, like I do wish, and I hope I like plant a seed in people's minds now that like we start adopting kind of like how in Asia they do things, where Asia is not heavily reliant on streaming. They're still much into physical.
Yeah.
And physical still works on this continent. There's certain territories in KZN, Maskandi music. These guys who are doing Maskandi, they sell physical CDs out the boot of their trucks, and that's what works. I personally think we should look at exploring like doing like a hybrid of the thing where the streaming is for the accessibility and reach, but we need to make sure on the ground there's something more tangible. Physical CDs, I think we should explore getting back into them. The only thing with physical, we just need to incentivize. So this is what like the Koreans and Japanese guys do really well. Like they incentivize they incentivize the fan to want to buy the physical, where the physical still feels like a collector's item. Where like with the boy bands, for example, I know like each CD, the collector's items, where each CD cover artwork is exclusive and has a different band member. So you incentivize. Whether there's maybe merch incentives or access into whether it's online content and stuff, which no one else can access, or to events. These things I think are really powerful things, which I think as African, I understand we want to follow trends and technology, but at the end of the day, we need to make sure our creatives are able to earn a living. And
100%.
if we're just relying on streaming, it doesn't work. I say this hybrid model is the kind of thing we need to adopt.
Yeah, and I think even things like merch as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that I don't know if we've fully
Cracked.
tapped into in Zim, you know. I had a very interesting conversation about 2 years ago with an artist who I did a collaboration with, where he basically put all of the music for his album. He basically put his album on CDs, and he came to me with 100 of them, and he was like, just give them out. He was like, give them out to everybody. He was like, we need these playing in every single combi. And I was like, okay, what? Well, one, we're still printing these, and two, we're gifting them. But it's like it's everybody's approach is such a different thing of how do we crack this this system in Zim that is so different. You know, it doesn't work like the Western world, you know. But something that I always feel like I'm repetitive in, but it's so important as well, is that's where the diaspora for Zimbabwe are really key.
Facts.
Because they're the ones holding down the streaming numbers for us a lot of the time. And those streaming numbers matter more than anything for us artists in terms of being able to translate outside to an international market. Like, the song is a big deal. And even when we do stream, like, it's very small compared to what it actually is doing back home. But diaspora, and I will say this every time, keep streaming our music. We applaud you and we are grateful. And share it everywhere. Thank you. Thank you so much. What does a thriving, globally recognized Zimbabwean music ecosystem look like to you?
To me, it looks like structure. I think that's one thing that is lacking in Zim. And when I say structure, I mean having collection management organizations that are functioning properly, having publishing companies there, having like solid managers, business-minded people, talking about distributors as well. I think, as well as media as well. If we can have those like all those entities talking to each other in a way, I think that Zim music would be really thriving. Without a doubt, because we've got the creativity unlocked for sure. The creativity is there. It's just that where it's not so self-sustainable, and we need to start making it self-sustainable. And I mean that's now like where that's where the policymakers need to look and see music as an industry. The creatives need to make sure they see it as a business. And I think everything would fall into place if we do that.
100%.
Yeah.
And as someone who is proudly Zimbabwean, watching what's happening in our music scene, what do you think Zimbabwean artists are getting right at the moment?
So yeah, I'd say creativity.
Yeah.
I think we got that right.
Yeah.
That, no doubt, creativity. We've got that on lock. We've been having it. So yeah, I'll take creativity.
Let's talk about your TEDx talk.
Okay.
It really speaks to inspiring and transforming Africa's creative landscape. What sparked that message for you, and what impact do you hope it leaves on the next generation of African creatives?
So that was a hectic couple of days for me.
Yeah.
I've never had to memorize. You don't think 10 minutes is long, but memorizing a 10-minute speech finished me.
Of course, it's a long. Sometimes I'm like, what is this thing I have to say for 3 sentences?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But what an experience. And ultimately, so the title of my talk is Failure Doesn't Exist. And, ultimately the message was a message of just persistence and being resilient. Like speaking to the creative sector, and this, I think it doesn't only just apply to the creative sector, it applies to anything in life, I
Yeah.
think, is that, you try stuff and you think you failed, but you must never think of them as failures. You have to like look at them as lessons
Yeah.
in everything you do. You have to keep trying, and learn and not fail, but keep trying, learn, keep trying and learn, and eventually something will give. And that was a story I shared in the TEDx talk where I talked about when I first started going into music, and I was very naive. Much like many people, you just think music is just gonna fly.
Yeah.
And I remember I put together my first group when I was trying to form like the Zimbabwe Young Money.
Yeah.
And I called them the Zim All Stars. And who was it? There was Nadia Nakai was part of it.
Oh my gosh.
We had these other guys, One Take, who was the GPB boys, Andre, Capital K, and there's something I'm forgetting. Forgive me, guy. But anyway, and I remember doing that, and I remember thinking, this is a hit. We did
Yeah.
a song called Fire. I used all the money I had. We did a music video, and I remember it only played once on MTV Base at the time, and it was like at 11:30 p.m. and it played once. And I remember at the time thinking that this is a failure, and I remember thinking I'll never do this again. But I guess after licking my wounds after some time, there were lessons from it, and that's where I guess maybe that's where Moti might have even started from. I was like, how do I avoid anyone? How do I make anyone avoid having to go through this?
Yeah.
Where you think it's so easy. Making music isn't easy, but it's almost like making music is the easy part. It's like then the business of it is like that's not where things get serious.
Yeah.
So I was like, how does anyone avoid this? At the time, maybe I didn't know. I was thinking about Moti back then, but maybe that's where the seed was planted. But yeah, ultimately, the TEDx talk was about just resilience and persistence. Keep going. Believe in yourself. Believe in your own vision. Even though people may not understand it, they'll get it eventually. But just
100%.
keep going.
Yeah. And I think definitely this idea of success, that sometimes people when they're looking at somebody's career, one, you're looking at the parts that they want to show you.
Correct.
That you're looking at these finished product moments. You're not getting to see all of the nitty gritty behind the scenes. Like artists that I really, really look up to, if I were to sit down with anybody and say how was it? It's never going to be this steady uphill climb. You could have a really massive song and then have a huge dip and a dry spell, and this could go wrong, and that it's messy, and it's never just a clean upward trajectory.
And that's life. There's no way.
100%.
You are going to encounter just struggles, and you just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's what the key is. Keep trying to figure it out. Have a spirit of just always teachable spirit, and keep trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and learn what not to do.
Yeah, and that's also just as important, learning what not to do. Don't repeat the mistake.
If not more important, I feel like. There's so many times that I've been like, okay, that was humbling. That was humbling, but I know now, and it really does build that character, and it helps you build your brand in a different sort of way that also I think can withstand more, because often as well, young artists, you see this and I had the exact same, that budding excitement of I need everything right now, and I need it right now, and it's gonna happen. But thank God it didn't happen fast.
Yeah.
Because quick up, quick down.
Facts.
100%. Rather a slow build, so that by the time you do get to these positions of incredible pressure, the resilience and the understanding is so much more than if it had just happened in the blink of an eye, which by the way almost never, if not ever, never happens.
True.
overnight
It's
success.
not
I
like
don't
that.
know what that is.
Mm-mm.
If that is a
Doesn't
thing,
exist.
that's a very weird and wonderful one-off. A one-off. Now, outside of work and panels and mentorship and the whole list, when you step away from the boardroom or studio, what keeps you grounded and motivated in an industry that never stops?
I'd say my couch.
Yes, your couch.
Just chilling at home on the couch, like just sometimes mindless stuff. Honestly, but I mean, I think it is prioritizing rest.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be very intentional. As you said, this industry does not switch off. Like, especially now when you start dealing with the international element where now people are
Everyone's
waking up as
times.
people are
Yeah.
sleeping and time differences. You have to just be very intentional about rest. And that's something I'm very intentional about. So rest, I mean, I know there's a friend of mine, a very close friend. He has a lodge that we frequent, and you're offline there. You have no
Amazing.
choice.
Amazing.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You have to just experience that once in a while where you can't be accessed. Well, only obviously just to keep people, but yeah, just prioritizing that rest and being offline. I do that a lot.
I think that's a lesson that I've only learned properly quite recently. And my team listening will be like, she hasn't learned it properly yet. What is she saying?
She's lying.
She's lying to you. But it's something that I've been really focusing on, like only quite recently, but when, you burn out so many times
It's a
and you're
real
like,
thing.
how sustainable is this? It's not,
Burnout is real.
But that idea of like being able to switch off, because you're right, it doesn't stop. Like the amount of times I've gotten a phone call at like 10, 11 p.m. on a Tuesday from some reporter who wants me to answer some questions. And I'm like, dude, why am I? But then I got to the thing of like, why am I answering now?
Yeah,
Like maybe I should just like,
don't answer.
let me just turn my phone off.
Yep.
It's kind of wild. And I think it's like if you are a hungry creative and if you are like in this hustle and really grinding, sometimes it takes a minute to click into like, if I answer tomorrow, nobody's going to die.
Absolutely. There's nothing
Like
burning.
the thing will continue.
Yep.
It's all good. And I think that when you mention your couch, I have that with my bed.
Yeah.
My little space, I sit and it's like my safe space where but it's a recent discovery. And I think if I was looking back to my younger self, that would be definitely something that I would tell myself to try and prioritize is like, and even biblically, take off Sundays, take that time to rest, and like as much as you don't work a 9 to 5 as much as physically possible, like when work hours are done, it's okay. We pick up tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Obviously
Switch off.
there are these urgent moments, but in general, like there will always be a lot on your plate.
Never stops.
So you have to just enforce it eventually.
Absolutely. Prioritize what's important. Sometimes spending time with family, prioritize yourself. Those things are really important at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I was speaking to Brian Soko the other day actually, and he was just like, you know what, at the end of the day, after all things, like I actually just want to be happy. And happiness doesn't just come from your career at all, but I think especially when you're starting out in this industry, like you are like this success becomes like the thing that's going to make you happy. Okay. And then you keep getting you're getting these goals and you're like, wait, I'm not happy because I'm not spending enough time with family. I'm not looking after my health and all these good things.
Real thing.
If you were to look at baby Munya, when you're starting out in the industry, young and fresh and starry-eyed,
bright-eyed,
what is a piece of advice or what is something that you'd say to him?
Just trust the vision that you have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, just trust, I'd say. Like, believe in yourself and just keep doing what you're doing. Everything's going to be okay.
Everything's going to be okay.
Just trust.
Just trust.
Yeah. So
I love it. That's a good one. Yeah. Take off the anxieties, take off the worries and just go, man.
Just keep going. Trust in your gut. Trust in the God-given vision that you have and just go.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's not going to be easy.
No.
But don't worry.
100%.
Just keep going.
Don't worry. Said by the master, Munya.
Come on. Yeah,
okay, my favorite little section to wrap up our fun time. Let's do some quick fire round.
Okay.
And let's talk about Zim. What's your favorite Zimbabwean snack?
Jupiter's.
Oh my gosh. That's like my childhood.
Fruit chutney,
Yeah.
Jupiter's. Nah, I'm done.
Everybody.
Over things, to be honest. As
Yeah.
in, I would choose them over things.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jupiter's, I love that fruit chutney flavor. They are so good. And the little sort of puffy fat stars.
Yeah, I love it. Come on.
They're so
what
good.
gets better?
Yes, nothing. What is one place in Zimbabwe that you think everyone should visit once in their lifetime?
I'm sure everyone probably says this, but I always say Big Falls.
Mosotho.
Come on.
Yeah,
Man.
you can't beat it.
I mean, you can't.
You can't beat it.
From the correct side.
Yes.
The Zim side, yeah.
Yes. Actually, let's get this on camera. Munya, who has the better side, Zimbabwe or Zambia?
Zimbabwe.
We love you, Zambians.
No, there's always love.
We are biased.
But I'm sorry.
But also.
Zim side, come through.
Yes. Do you take a raincoat?
When I go?
Mm-hmm.
Because you get soaked and drenched. I always forget, to be honest.
I forget every single time.
If I'm being honest with you, you have to buy one there.
Yeah, I forget every single time.
Yep.
No, but it's nice. Get drenched.
Just feel it. Yeah,
Get drenched.
Allow it.
What is one cause or issue in Zimbabwe or Africa that you're passionate about highlighting?
Education. Lack of education within the music industry.
Yeah.
Or the creative sector, actually. I could make it broad, but I guess my expertise is in the music right now. But lack of education is my biggest thing.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm trying.
You're living it.
I'm trying.
You're living it, dude.
Yes.
We appreciate you. We are so grateful.
Come on.
What is an artist you are most excited about right now from Zim?
He's not a new artist, but I love Silent.
Oh, he's incredible.
He is, and I just saw him this weekend now again. Like, he was playing at Nyrox. And this guy's such a talent.
He is so talented.
Like, honestly, like, people are sleeping on this.
Yeah.
So he's so.
People are waking up now, thank God.
Yeah, they
but
are.
He's been grinding.
He's been pushing, actually.
He's been pushing.
I'm very excited about that dude, and I hope to work with him soon.
Shout out, Silent. We love you.
On.
We love you.
Yes.
What is the best piece of advice you have ever received in your career?
I've heard something being said to an artist, which I always thought was really dope, which was like, don't chase the deal, chase the value.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that was deep. I remember thinking, because people are chasing the deals. They want to just sign with a big name, but you're not chasing the value. It doesn't, some deals don't even, they don't serve you. Let me say that. So don't chase the deal, chase the value. And I guess just the advice my dad always says is like, failing to plan is planning to fail.
Wow.
So plan. Try your best. Try your best.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that one as well, because I'm an organized hun.
Yeah.
So it's rough out there.
It's rough out there, yo.
If it's not.
Just try your best. Try your best.
Yes, I love it. Oh, dude, this has been amazing.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's good to sit down with you outside of our normal friend space.
Yes,
which is so
it's
cool.
Really quite professional. And formal.
Yes, look at us. Look at us.
Look at you.
Yeah. She's wearing heels. And dude, as a little thank you, because a part of Hello High is also not only hoping to give back in terms of conversation, but to give back in different ways in Zim. We partnered up with a nonprofit called My Trees, who are reforesting Zimbabwe.
Beautiful.
So we are planting a Munya Chanetsa tree.
I love it. Thank
yes,
you.
You're so welcome.
Can I see the tree?
Yes, we can go visit it.
Okay, cool.
Next time you're in Zim,
December.
we're gonna go and we'll go see your Munya tree.
I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
but thank you so much for joining
us.
And big love. And everybody, I'm gonna put the link for Moti below. Make sure you check it out. There's so much good information there, and the more you know, the better.
That's it.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for joining Hello High with Gemma and the one and only Munya Chanetsa. We'll see you next time. Big love.
Thank you.